Just waiting on the Instagram going up on a Monday. All right, Instagram up. Lower, lower, low. It's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome to another episode of Dad Mentality. We're here this week. We're gonna have some good personal conversations that I wanted to have with my fellas and just talk about some of the things that happened over the weekend. Not the Commanders and the Dallas game. That game didn't mean nothing to have to do with anything this weekend. But of course, Coach wants to go ahead and talk about that. But we're gonna talk about worrying and you know how failure can be success. Y'all know what it is. It's Dad Mentality.
What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Sometimes we gotta fix our mental. Or maybe it's not meant to be a dad, a father, that's what men do. I made a promise to my kids, that's what I do. I just want them to do things better than I do. Or better yet, better things that I did. What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Welcome to the show, shout out to the coach. And Matty Ice, Ice Cold Crypto. And each one, teach one. That's mentality, we just try to reach one. What is, that's mentality.
Hello. Welcome to Dad Mentality. It's your boy, the Beast One. I'm glad to be here. Glad to see my man Matty Ice representing. That's how we do, Matty Ice. We don't trade up, right?
Hey, now, yeah, you don't put yours back, so that's why I had to come on and make sure I still represent, man. You know what I mean? Wear the colors, man, for the city, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, you know, unfortunately it was a hard fought game. I don't know what team really showed up. I think Westlake went out there and played the Cowboys this week or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
but it happened. But anyway, you know, I don't do this. I'm the Beast One. Welcome to Dad Mentality. You know, I don't do this by myself. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the hometown favorite, you know, the diversified hustler. You'll know him as Wealthy and Blessed. Matty Ice Cold Crypto. What's going on, dog? How you doing today?
What's good, man? I'm doing pretty good. Feeling better this afternoon. Tough loss yesterday, man. I made the mistake. Went to a Cowboys fan house to watch the game. That's probably why we lost. I knew I should have stayed home, and you know what I mean. But you know, yeah.
Well, you know, we all make mistakes. It's all good, but you know. And we're gonna, you know what, Matt, we might do the show by ourselves this week. I don't think, but nah, you know, it's my man, a million grand owner since he's 4 years old. I knew him when he was a Redskin / Commander fan. Now I don't know what fan he is. He just pick one every week as long as it's against us, right? But you know, y'all know as Coach, what's going on, Coach?
Hey man, hey, they are who we thought they were. Right, you know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You know what I mean? No sweat. You know what I'm saying? Still got good record.
First season of the rebuild, man. That's
We rewinded 2 weeks ago, going to Super Bowl.
I said in 3 years. But 3 years.
Hey,
yeah, that's still on the table. 3 years still on the table.
Oh,
yeah. 3 years still on the table,
hey,
man.
Matty, I give it to you, die hard, bro.
Nah, 3 years. That's not on the table. 3 years. Come on, Coach.
3 years is good time. Good time.
Yeah.
Detroit looked like they trying to go to the Super Bowl. Remember how garbage they was? I mean, dang. So you know.
Yeah.
Even the owner of Detroit didn't even know what
we may have won a parlay had we picked them Cowboys last week.
But would we? I don't know. I ain't look at the rest of the parlay to be honest with you. I have no idea, but I know we didn't win it.
It was
And
a
I
bunch of
do,
upsets. Like, it was a couple upsets.
and I do remember quite fondly, Matty Ace. I don't know if you can verify this or not, but didn't Coach pick the Commanders also?
I picked the Cowboys at first, and then she picked the Cowboys. And you said there's no way I'm picking the Cowboys. That's what you said.
Nah. I think I can go back to the audio, and it was clearly Coach saying that he believed the Commanders was going to win that game.
I did think, I'll give it to you, I did think they was going to win that game. But you know what? They are who we thought they were.
I mean, hey, you know,
that was a tough one right there.
We all wondered about when that film came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We can't even make no excuses about yesterday. That was ugly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even the Cowboy fans was mad that we won a little bit because they try and get draft picks.
That's true.
They was like, man, y'all ain't even do what y'all supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true.
They was waiting on that beat down. They was prepared for it already.
I mean, when y'all was 7-1, I ain't here. This ain't the same energy as when y'all was 7.
Nah, we wasn't 7-1 because we lost the first joint, then we end up losing to
Baltimore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we was like 5-1. We was like 5-1. Yeah, we was 7-2. Yeah.
7-2. We going to the Super Bowl. We going to the Super Bowl. Hey, you better be careful.
Skrilla in the house, I guess it's he said go Cowboy J Gun. I guess that's J Gun. I didn't know that was J Gun. It's Skrilla. All right, what's up, J Gun? How you doing? This is definitely a fan favorite. I do know he's a Cowboys fan, so I shouldn't be surprised that he showed up today to show his face on the show. You know what I'm saying? He said he doing good, bro. Doing good, bro. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this mental health check-in real quick. Jay Gunn, you can let us know what you feeling at your mental health. I'm sure it's good because I know as a Cowboys fan, I got every Cowboy fan I know came out the woodwork yesterday. So
they definitely
shouldn't be surprised that they showing up and showing out. I even got a Cowboy fan dog I'm babysitting right now. Kendra, Kendra came over here, asked me to babysit her dog. I almost took him to the pound because I was mad about the Commanders game. But I got him and everything's good, man. Everything's good. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to do our mental health check-in. Mental health is important here on Dad Mentality. So, check in with somebody, check in with your doctor, check in with your pastor, check in with your friend. Make sure if you're not feeling good, make sure you have that conversation, man. Have that conversation. Hell to the Commanders. What's up, Guapo? We're going to talk about you after this, too. Because I definitely want to bring him up and how great of a show he got going on tomorrow at 7:30. Make sure you check us out again live tomorrow as we do the watch party for episode 2 of The Knox, which, we'll get into a little bit later. But let's get ready to get into these mental health check-ins. Let us know what you're feeling from 0 to 10. Of course, there you go, Skrilla. He said need that top 10 pick for sure. I don't know. Oh, he talking about the Cowboys. Okay. Yeah. But let us know how you feeling in the comments from 0 to 10 and what you're looking forward to, going on this week. So I'm going to go ahead and let Coach get his shit out the way because I know he's probably feeling real good right now. And we want to go ahead and talk about all the greatness of watching the game. I can see he was probably sitting there, he probably borrowed all this Cowboy stuff, painted his house blue. Just anyway, go ahead. What's going on, dog? How was your week, man?
Look, man, I'm sitting at about, about an 8 this week. You know what I mean? I was at about a 7.5, all week long till yesterday. And then, football just got me amped. You know what I mean? It just helped my week out, right? You know what I mean? I got to watch I ain't gonna say good football game. You know what I'm saying? It was a good quarter of football. You know what I'm saying? Exciting quarter of football. College football was good this week. You know what I mean? But no, in all seriousness, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a bad week at all for me. You know what I'm saying? My kids are starting to come home. My baby boy come home Wednesday. So, which is a good thing from college for Thanksgiving. Last weekend was pretty relaxing for the most part, which is the first time in a couple weeks that actually, you know what I'm saying, it took some time to actually rest, you know what I mean? So that was good. Nothing major going on, you know what I'm saying, with the fam. So health wise, everybody's straight. And you know what I'm saying, that's all you can really ask for. So I mean, all in all, wasn't a bad week, you know what I mean? I actually got like back into like the normal life routine, right? You know what I mean? Because I had been out of that for a couple months. So, and you guys know why personally, but yeah, it was a good week for me last week. So,
all right, glad to hear that, brother. Glad to hear that. What about you, Mighty Ice? How you feeling? What's going on with you?
Like I said, feeling a lot better this evening. This morning wasn't feeling, too good. This was, I think, just a little overdid it a little bit much yesterday. After that performance we had, like I said, went over some family house yesterday, so we was watching the game, having a few drinks or whatever. So moving a little slow this morning, but I'm gonna say about a 7. You know what I mean? Like last week was a pretty good week, man. Did some things, made some moves on some stuff. So I'm feeling pretty good, man. Rolling into this week right here. Today was moving a little slow, so I need to get it together for this week, man. Thanksgiving this week, so gonna be a busy week doing something for Black Friday this weekend at the store. So trying to get some stuff together for that. So just should be a busy week, a productive week. So just need to get to it. But I'm about a 7, and I'm hoping to, by the end of the week, have that number, that number up a point or two.
Okay. All right, fellas. Right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, fellas. I'm a little bit down from last week, and once again, it has nothing to do with the Commanders Cowboys game. I would say right now I'm sitting about a 6. I had some. Well, all right. So Vicky was going out of town, and my anxiety was already hitting me. But I thought, okay, I got it under control. I'm good. This. I know what's going on. I'm relaxed, and make sure I don't make some of the same mistakes that I make before. So, I took everything in stride. I didn't let anything bother me, and I kept on. Because typically what I usually do, and if you don't know this, I've talked to y'all about it a lot, about my abandonment issue. And what triggers me if she's leaving and I know I can't get to her or anything like that, and I don't know, I have that issue of wondering if she's going to make it back. And not even, it's so many different things that go through my head and it's really crazy because I make up scenarios that don't have anything to do with reality. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I know where she's going. I know that unfortunately it was a sad event. She was going to visit her uncle. But me and she was going to the funeral of her uncle. I'm sorry, in Florida, where she was going to hang out with a bunch of her family and things like that. But it's like I make up in my mind that she's going to go down and want to just stay for some odd reason, like not even the real reason. Like it's just like, oh, she wants to see her family now, and that's going to be, she's not going to come back, or this, that, and the other. I don't know. I just get all these things in my head, and I try to fight against them. And me and Vicky talked before she left. Had a great conversation. She gave me plenty of hugs, plenty of love to let me know. So, it's nothing. The crazy thing about my anxiety is nothing that is like, it's 100% me. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that my wife can do that can make me not have it. You know what I'm saying? Because in my head, it's just a panic. And I'm really, 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 I really thought, this time when she was going, I was ready. You know what I'm saying? Like I was prepared. I was okay. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be good. And then as soon as she left, I fell right back into that trap. right back into the same old stuff I used to do. I went to the closest place I can get alcohol, started drinking, and then next thing you know, I've overdrunk. I've consumed way more liquor than I'm used to. And here's the thing, and I'll be honest with you, fellas, I have not been drinking, not the way I used to. I used to drink all the time. So, like, I mean, literally, like Bobby Brown, if I ain't drink every day, it was every other day. And I haven't been, and I think I've drunk one time in probably the last month, other than this event. You know what I'm saying? That was when I played poker. And other than that, that was it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any alcohol in my house. I haven't bought alcohol in months. So, it's something that I've been dealing with in figuring that I thought I had it right. Well, to make the long story short, I made mistakes that I'm upset about. And that's kind of why I want to go into the topic this week. But I mean, my anxiety also has to do with a lot of other things. I'm worrying about a lot of things that A, I can't control, and B, it's not something that is A I can't control, and is B, a lot of it is just me worrying about things that I shouldn't be worrying about. I should be able to get past and be over. So anyway, so I'm gonna give myself, like I said, I gave my number is a 6 right now. I've already started moving that. Hopefully next week my numbers will be up. Vicky is back, she's safe, everything's good. I'm just kind of really disappointed in myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be honest with you, fellas. I come on the show and I talk about these things and talk about other shows and stuff like that. And I really thought I was past it, but I'm realizing that I'm not. So that it is going to be an ongoing thing. I guess you kind of think that I got it to the point now where I got it under control. But in reality, if you don't, it's and I'm just talking for me personally, it's a continual process that I'm probably going to have to deal with and fight for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Or until I don't know how to get over it. Remember last week we was talking, Coach, and you said you can believe that we was talking about that you'll be able to eventually get over it or get past it or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I think with this anxiety, I feel like I should. I mean, what do you fellas think about what I just said so far? I'm sorry, I went on a rant.
You letting you get it out. Pause.
I think that here's the thing. I think the biggest issue is just outside looking in, you may be thinking that you're prepared for it because the week before you were on a little bit higher high, right? And I think that in order to prepare for what is coming, it's just like preparing for anything else. You gotta have a plan of attack. You can't go into that situation without having a plan to address your reaction to that situation. So you knew that she was leaving because you said it on the call last week, right? And you knew you knew that leaving is the trigger to anxiety. So right when you thought you were good is when you should start creating a plan on how you're good with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, because what happens is like we're good in those high moments. You know what I'm saying? We know that we got certain issues, but when the triggers start happening and we don't got the go-to, we're going to default to how we reacted before, which is what happened with you, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The minute that the trigger happened, whatever that trigger was, you defaulted. And once you default, I mean, truth be told, now you're in your coping stage, right? You ain't fighting it no more. You're just coping at that point. But at the very least, if you know what I'm saying, have a plan for whatever triggers that may be coming up, at least you can go to plan A, right? And guess what? Plan A may suffice for a day, and it may not get you all the way through it, but it's progress, right? You know, next time you gotta go plan A and B.
Right.
It ain't gonna be when you get through stuff. It ain't magically over, and I know you know that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the walk through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that don't mean, and I say walk, right? Because when you walk, you might take 2 steps forwards and a step back. You might take 2 steps back and a step forward, right? You know what I mean? Through that when you try to go through that moment. But you gotta actually had a plan there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like he said, it's like the fact that you are aware, and sometimes you can, like you said, don't let it spiral too out of control, because it could be something that like that. It was temporary that she was gone. You understood why she was gone. You went back to an old habit that you was trying to avoid, and it just happened so quick. But then at the same time, being aware of it is part of it, and acknowledging it and talking it out. And then I guess the next step is like when you can catch yourself in the trigger moment. Like, damn, hold up. Like you said, you knew why you was feeling like that, but for whatever reason, you still like that rubber band popping back. You go back to what you know, or the old habit.
Mm-hmm.
You said you overdrank or whatever, then maybe because of that made some decisions, or you know what I mean, just like damn, just nothing crazy, but just something that you know you really probably wouldn't have did if you didn't have that reaction. You know what I mean? Because it was a reaction, more of a response, because you could have responded to it because you already knew, like you said, that you may feel this way. You thought you had it under control. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's like you either have another plan when you are feeling like that. Do you need to get away, or do you need to, you know what I mean, call somebody? Do you need to go somewhere, be around? You know what I mean? Instead of, you know what I mean, like okay, what's something, like you said, a plan, something I can do when I know this may happen. Because you talking to yourself, you're like, man, she gonna make it back all right. You know what I mean? And you know why you feel that way. You know what I mean? You love your wife. You've had different things in the past that have caused you to now, I guess, worry. You know what I mean? About one of the most important people in your life, your wife, when she leaves for an extended period of time or whatever, when somewhere where you can't be in control of the situation, you know what I'm saying, or get to it fast enough, you feel worried. And that's, you know what I mean, that's a testament to how much you love your wife. But you gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta, like, you know what I mean, lean on your faith. You know what I mean? I know you believe in God, or what, you know, that yeah, we good out here, our energy good. My wife gonna be okay. She blessed, she protected. And you know what I mean, and try to lean on that when she's gone, just knowing that, hey, she gonna be okay.
And go ahead. You want to say something else, Coach? Go ahead.
Oh no, you go. I can wait. Go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say, and you know, and I did do that. And I mean, I prayed and prayed. You know, but it was my fault because I knew what the right plan was. You know what I'm saying? But I still decided to go in. I was like, nah, you know what? I can do this. I can do it. I can do it and not, you know, not over drink or whatever the case may be. And the crazy thing was, I didn't even want to drink. Like, it wasn't even something that I really wanted to do. It was like what and I kind of feel like it was really what Coach said. It was just the coping mechanism I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? It was the way, because I mean, yeah, I went out that night, I drunk. The next day, you know, I did not I wasn't happy about it. I blackout drunk. So I woke up thinking I did all good. I was like, oh shit, I did great. Then the next day, my boy calls me. He was like, yo, dog, you good? You good? I want to make sure. I was like, what are you talking about, man? And then he told me how drunk I was. And then I didn't remember none of it. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yeah, dog, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't even realize that that's what I did. And then that's when everything hit me. You know what I'm saying? As far as that, I didn't handle the situation correctly. I didn't take the steps that I knew I should have taken. Now, don't get me wrong, from that morning on, I did. And it just so happened, I had already, Vicky was out of town and I had to take care of the kids anyway. So I had already taken off of work. So I didn't have to work that next day anyway. So, and that was the good news. I took care of the kids and everything like that. But I just sat there and I really started thinking about, how easy it is to still fall back into those things that you're trying to change. You know what I'm saying? Those things that you're trying to change in your life. Like, and once again, like I said, I don't do this show lighthearted. You know what I'm saying? I don't do this coming out here talking to people, putting myself out here for everybody to see. And even one of my goals is that one day my grandchildren will be able to see me. They'll be able to come on here and see who their grandfather was. And I want them to have a positive outlook on it. You know what I'm saying? And I always try to do my best to really be about what I walk the way I talk. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, this happens to be one of my biggest, I would say in my eyes, flaws. You know what I'm saying? That I grew up in a house where alcohol was a vice. It was a way that a lot of things happened. And not saying grew up in a house, I'll take that back. In my teenage years, I went to alcohol as a vice. And it became a thing. And, I've always battled with, because I can stop drinking. I can stop drinking, but what is that difference between, drinking as a vice or being an alcoholic? You know what I'm saying? Like, where does that thin line begin and end? But I don't want to get into that today. I'm gonna get into the real topic that I wanted to talk about today, which is worrying. So, because that's where my anxiety starts. That's usually where it starts, is worrying about a lot of things. And I did have a lot of other things on my mind besides just my wife and her going out of town that I was worrying about. But I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about worrying and because I was talking to my brother after all this happened, and we discussed that, he was telling me, he was like, yo, worrying is a killer, man. Like, worrying about things is really something that can through a period of time can break you down. You know what I'm saying? Where because I'm not gonna lie. I think last time Vicky went out of town, I was good. I didn't have no problems, but I was like Coach said, I was on a higher high at that time. Where, if I'm sitting on 10 and then she goes and I drop down to an 8, I'm good. But if I'm sitting at 8 and I drop down to a 5 when she leaves, then things really start kind of hitting me. But the beginning of the breakdown was worry. So, worrying is something that everyone does. So I'm just curious to y'all, to like, what do y'all do? What do you do? Or do you have any suggestions when you're worrying? What's your go-to move, or how do you deal with that worry? Which worry is just another anxiety, in my opinion.
The root of anxiety is worry. Yeah, that's what creates your anxiety, is you're worrying about something. It could be something as small as, it could just be something very minute that you're worrying about, but that might create like just a small moment of anxiety. Like, did I turn the iron off? You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be anxiety. Then you you might be worrying about the iron all day at work. And some people got that anxiety issue where they got to drive back home to find out if they unplugged the iron and find out that they did. But they, in their mind, they know, I'm gonna be thinking about that all day if I don't, you know what I mean? So dealing with anxiety is good. And I think that goes with, not anxiety, but worry, and just figuring out why you're really worried about that. And then sometimes my go-to is try to figure out the worst case scenario with it. And then once you kind of figure that out, then you're like, man, that wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Then you can kind of help get yourself out of it. That's talking about when it's like something may be a little bit larger that you're worried about that's giving you anxiety. You just go to the worst case scenario and just and confront that, and then now work your way backwards from there. But don't worry about it, because 9 times out of 10, what you're thinking the worst case scenario could be, most of the time isn't gonna happen. Like you said, sometimes, like I'm the same way. I got a very imaginative imagination. Sometimes you be thinking, no, you be coming up with all types of stories. You done came up with a whole movie in your brain. Roddy think he about to have to be like taken and go rescue her
Go
out there.
find her.
Like, yeah, he gonna have to get her, man. So it's your imagination can get away with you. You just gotta recognize that, and then sometimes, man, it's other stuff you could do. Like at that time, like, man, going for a walk or help try to work out, like, instead of like find something to replace that, that anxiety for you. Instead of going to get a drink, it's just other things you could have did, because you kind of know now. And now this could be the time that it really smacks you in the face. Like, nah, I can't. Nope, I ain't. You know what I mean? And then it take a little bit of discipline, because it's always easier to go back to what we know. You know what I mean? And to do something that's uncomfortable takes a little bit of discipline, but then you feel better about yourself when you do practice discipline. Then you feeling bad about yourself, because that's how that spiral happens. You know what I mean? Now you was already anxiety, worried, then you did this, then now you know what I mean. The kind of then so now it's a snowball effect, and it can build on you. So that's a good thing that you recognizing it, and you can change it before it snowballs and becomes something bigger. You know what I mean?
100%. Coach?
Yeah, man. Worrying, that joint will kill you, right? You know what I'm saying? It can have health effects, you know what I'm saying, such as anxiety and heart problems.
But they say dis-ease.
Yeah. And when your peace is disrupted, right? You know what I mean? I think so. It's a couple different, like, just situational stuff that me personally, I used to worry about a couple. I'd say probably about 5-6 years back, right? So, from a work related stuff, I used to worry about meetings and how I'm going to report out and all of that stuff. And I mean, personal stuff, I'll tell you about just some personal worrying that I used to have to deal with. But I mean, from a work related piece, you know what I'm saying? Because I know some of your stress is that right now, right? You've mentioned it before. But from a work related piece, I always had one motto: 4 o'clock gonna come and go, and I'm gonna be here before 4 o'clock, and I'm gonna be here after 4 o'clock. So whatever happened during the day, that's just what happens, right? So if I had a 2 o'clock meeting, I would say 3 o'clock 2 o'clock gonna come and go, regardless of what happened in this meeting.
Yeah.
The one thing I do know is 2 o'clock is gonna get here, and it's gonna go away. So there's an end to whatever that is, right? And that kind of gave me a lot of ease just in my professional life. You know what I'm saying? When it came to meetings, when it came to all that stuff. Because guess what? At 4 o'clock, I'm going to know what's going to happen. No matter what I think about between now and 2, at 4 o'clock, I'm going to know what happens. So why am I worried about now to 2 o'clock? I can't be, because I can't avoid it. I can't run from it. 2 o'clock going to be here, and then it's going to go away. That's just what it is, right? And so that's in the professional world, right? You know what I'm saying? The hour's going to change. The day is going to end. God willing, you'll wake up the next day and you'll fight another day, right? From a personal level, the one thing I used to always worry about is not being able to provide for my family. Like, literally.
Like, a lot of men worry about that.
Yeah, they do. But I mean, I was so drastic with it. Like, I literally was like, what am I going to do if I can't feed my family, right? And one day, you know what I'm saying, I actually told my wife, I was like, that's one of my biggest worries. And she said one thing to me. She said, there's never been a time you haven't provided for your family. And you know that, right? Mm-hmm. And she said, and if it ever comes to a point, you know what I'm saying, of that, your character will kick in and you will find a way to provide for your family. Like if you ever think you're about to get to that point, your character will kick in and you'll make a way for it because that's who you are. And ever since then, I've never had that worry again. So that's it's kind of identifying, you know what I'm saying, that in your situation, you know what I'm saying, with abandonment. Like, guess what? I'm never going to be left alone. You know why? Because God always going to be there no matter what. And that's just what it is. Like, and truth be told, I call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lose parents, you lose family members, you lose everything. But you gotta, your faith is what literally is going to keep your peace when it comes to the abandonment issues. Because, you know what I'm saying, you go into these situations and, you know what I'm saying, but kind of like what Matt said, you figure out the worst case scenario and you know that that's never probably not going to happen. And then truth be told, the worst case is most of the time the only thing you're worried about.
Yeah.
Like getting to the worst case, you ain't worried about none of the other BS that could go on before the worst case, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're literally only worried about the worst case scenario. And it be sometimes so astronomical, you be like, dog, why am I even thinking that
No, that's exactly how I was feeling.
But you got to break it down, though. You got to think it through like that. Because if you don't think it through like that, the anxiety is like it's just kind of rolling in your head. Like, you know what I mean?
Because guess what? That scenario will get worse. And you'll think of more astronomical stuff.
Yeah.
Dog, it was so stupid that, like, if she walked past me without, like, acknowledging me in any way, I was like, why'd she do that? Why does she not touch my hand, or why does she not give me a kiss? She sees I'm here, you know what I'm saying? And that's how my mind just starts going. Like she's trying to pack to go to a funeral. And the only thing I'm thinking is, well, she just walked past me and didn't touch me. What does she mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Which in reality, I know she means shit. She packed her bags. You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy, and I kept on saying to myself, I'm like, come on, dog, keep it together. That ain't none of this thing, ain't nothing you picturing in your mind real. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you got to get that, you know. And I kept on talking to myself, and I sat down, I went outside, I prayed, and I give myself, and I'll be good for a little while, you know what I'm saying? And then as time goes on, about an hour or two later, then, you know, something she walked past me again, and I get the same damn feeling, you know. But it was, you know, it's something that, you know, I just really wanted to bring out to light. Plus, because, you know, somebody else may be dealing with a different form of that, or a different form of any kind of anxiety. And I feel like people, you know, especially us as men, we're not allowed to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We've always talked about that. You have to always be strong. You always have to put up this front of everything's okay. And, you know, and I'll be honest with y'all, know we had a different show planned today, correct? And I said to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm going to face this. I'm not going to keep on, because I could have easily hid this shit, never said it. We never talk about it and moved on and did a different show. And you know, and then me personally felt like I was letting myself off. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, once again, I want to let everybody know I don't do this show for anybody else but myself. You know what I'm saying? I really want to be better. I want to help myself. I want to be a better person. I want to be, you know, I want to be great. You know what I'm saying? And the anxiety is like my biggest issue that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. Now, don't get me wrong. You typically on a day I'm good, you know what I'm saying? But it's like that trigger of my wife leaving, it even, you know, my kids. I was surprised. I'm been pretty good about my son because I'm just so proud of where he is and what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to take that. I would never want to take that away from him. But you know, it is really difficult to deal with when you have an anxiety that in my opinion that you know is really difficult to control. You know, it's really, really difficult to control because in my head and everything I've been doing with the show, I've always wanted to get there and not have that anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And not have that issue. You know, but you know, I definitely learned this time that alcohol is not the answer. You know what I'm saying? It is not the answer. There was nothing positive that came out of that. I definitely was disappointed in myself. You know, I'm thankful that I was around friends and they, you know, he didn't, you know, he seen me drink, but he didn't know that I had stopped drinking and all the stuff that I was doing. I usually, you know, I drunk over and it wasn't like he forced me to alcohol. I went and pursued it after a while. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but literally, it didn't. I don't feel like it was. You know, I think my tolerance definitely went down. But I also think this, and I'm being honest with y'all. I'm letting y'all know this. The last 2 times that I drunk, I was sick both times the next day, and I drink like I used to drink like a fish and never get sick. But the last 2 times, and even when I went and played poker, and I told y'all about that last month. I played poker and I was not blackout drunk. I had a great poker game. I went home and everything was good. Went to sleep like normal, blah, blah, blah. The next day, I was sick the entire day until I went and forced myself to throw up. And then once I got the alcohol out of my body or I threw up, I felt way better. And this time, even though I know I drank a lot more, this time it was the same way. The next day I was sick the entire day. And I kind of just feeling like, and just being honest, that's God telling me I need to stop drinking. It's God telling me I need to stop drinking and my body is just not, you know, is not dealing with it the same way that I used to. But like I said, I used to drink every day. Yeah. So, you know, I'm really getting to that point, and this is kind of, and I also want to get on here because, you know, I feel like if I'm on here and I'm saying these things, I'm more than likely to hold myself to the standard that I want to set. You know what I'm saying? And alcohol is not the remedy for my worries. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I want to say then deal better. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah. The standard that you set, I mean, that's a good point, right? So let's talk about just what you said about just the walking by stuff, right? She walked by, she ain't touched me. Yeah. You fought that. She walked by again, she ain't say nothing to me. But she's packing, right? So she's doing something. The one thing that I learned is that when you worry about something that you want to happen to you, you should go do what you want to happen to you. So if she walks past you and you wanted her to touch you, you should touch her. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want the hug, go give the hug. You know what I mean? You want the phone call, make the phone call. Right? Because guess what? The end result is what you're really looking for. Right? And it's the end result and the reassurance. So that's kind of help her pack.
Oh, now you're going too far.
No, but it's mental. It ain't physical.
That might be a good idea, but I don't think I would physically be able to do that. I think my mind would make me go absolutely ape shit. But I think it's a great idea.
That's what you think, right? But did you think about I'm preparing my wife to go on a trip without me to make sure that she's straight while she don't have me around? You ain't think that.
Nah, but you just
I'm
even
making sure she ain't
mentioning
missing nothing.
my stomach started turning. Just you mentioning it.
But
To
dog,
help
like,
her, to help her leave? Nah, I don't think that'll
no.
happen, dog. I can't do that. I
Yes,
don't think
I'm,
that is.
I'm telling you, bro.
That is
Like,
not
see,
I
that's
don't think
the but
that's in
then
my-
that's
but
the
then,
issue.
yeah, but then it go back to like what does her packing the bag similar? Because you like, nah, I ain't about to help her leave, but it's like
But where's she leaving?
you gotta, yeah, that's what I mean, and that's the part that he like. That's part of it. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
knows, but you know what I mean. In your mind, what you thinking? Something may happen, or she may get down there and decide never to come back
Man, I
or
don't.
move in with her family. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's your worry? I can see, everybody have a little travel anxiety sometimes. You know what I mean? Want to make sure they get where they going safe. Like
Safe
my
travels.
daughter is she's in Florida with her best friend, so they just flew out this morning. So you always got that little make sure they good. She always down in Florida. I feel it a little bit because normally if she called me, something happened, she got a flat tire, you can go help them out. If she called me and she's down in Florida, you do have that thought like how you got to get down there. But then in my mind, I'm like, damn, I got friends in Florida. She right in the area. I got somebody, a friend with less than an hour from where they staying at. You know what I mean? So okay. So then you know what I mean, you deal with it, like I'm tripping. Like there's no reason to, not gonna say there's no reason, but you know where it's coming from, and then you can address it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My anxiety is worse than that. My anxiety is you don't answer the phone. I'm not gonna not think about you until I get that phone call back. You know what I'm saying? It is. And me and Vicky have had that argument too.
Wait.
Like when she went to Africa, shoot, she didn't the first 2 days I called her, I ain't sleep for 2 days. But that was back when I was way worse than I am now. But even now, like when I call her, if I call her and she don't answer, it does become a struggle for her. You know what I'm saying?
I mean-
but my anxiety is never hearing from you again. Not you leaving, never hearing from you again. You know what I'm saying? Like my father left that morning and I never saw him again. I talked to my mother and then that was it. You know what I'm saying? I never heard from her again. So the anxiety is more deeper on that level than it is on, I'm worried about her leaving me. You know what I'm saying? Like if she told me she was leaving, I'd be like, bye. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But I'd be upset, but I still wouldn't have that same anxiety as just her leaving.
Yeah, that's what I said. So
and then I never get to talk to her.
Exactly. So something would have to happen to her or something for that to happen, for it to disappear.
Yeah, and that's the type of anxiety I deal with. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I deal with, that I'm just worried that I would never talk to her again. You know what I'm saying? Or never, hear her voice.
Yeah, so I mean, one, that's your anxiety is deep enough for counseling, right? So you gotta talk to a professional through a lot of that stuff, because it's almost, do you have regret?
No.
So I'm talking about with mom and dad, right?
No.
Do
I
you have any regrets?
I don't have any regrets with my mother. My father, I was too young to realize anything anyway. So I just, I don't think I feel regret. Regret is not it.
Is it so? Yeah, I think you're at the level on your anxiety, because you're gonna have to get some form of mental health counseling.
No, I've done that. Yeah, I've done that. I need to keep on doing. I understand that too, but I got that.
So what are they suggesting on that?
Right now, you're my counselor, so let me hear what you got to say.
At first, you didn't even know. At first, you didn't even realize it was abandonment issues. So so you gotta think, like, you're not gonna cure X number of years of baggage overnight. You know what I mean?
No.
You do certain things over and over. That's been repetitive. It was unconscious in him that he was feeling these ways, but now he does know that where it's coming from, where the feeling is coming from. So the only thing you could do is, like, when you feel it coming on, continue to confront it. But now you got to find other ways to confront it and not let it get the better of you, because you're like, man, this is the only reason I'm feeling like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's out of my control. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stop her from going. I'm like, you know what I mean? You don't want to do that. And then that's when you know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't like, counseling is awesome. You know what I mean? You got to have counseling and talking to people. That could be in different forms, you know what I mean? Listening to something. But then you just kind of go back and be like, she's good, and go back to your faith. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
yeah, like why would something happen to her? You know what I mean? Blah, 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 and just, you know what I mean? And just realize, like, man, like stuff like that is ultimately out of our control anyway. So that's something like we can't worry about. It's like worrying about whether or not the U.S., you know, gonna get nuked or something. Like, it could happen tomorrow. Like, I can't, we couldn't control it. And certain things like that, you know what I mean? It's like Coach was saying, you make sure she is good when she leaving. You got everything you need, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. If she about to hop on the road, you may do some stuff, make sure the car good, check the tires, you know what I mean? So it's, you know, so you got a sense of security in your mind the best way you can have it, you know what I mean? But like you said, like it's not gonna happen overnight though, like, because you just kind of figuring out that that's what it is. So you just gonna have to kind of keep confronting it, and I think it'll get better. Like, will it ever completely leave? You know what I mean? Nah, but it may could be used, or like, now that you are aware of it, to allow you to you know what I mean, channel that anxiety into something else.
A good boy Kenneth Clark real quick said anxiety is tough. Since being in the foster care, abandonment is something I struggle with. Meditation and aromatherapy help me out. Hey, that's a good idea. He also said, yes, counseling helped me out recently. So, you know, hey, Kenneth Clark, I try.
Hey, you need to get in the Zen den, get some meditation and some aromatherapy, man.
Yeah, I did do some meditation. Aromatherapy might be something to help me out once I get there. You know what I'm saying? I just know that when she leaves, I really have to pack my day where I don't have time to make up my own what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, the next couple of days I packed it with the kids and stuff like that. Had a great time. You know what I'm saying? It definitely took my mind off of it and things like that. I really, you know, just have to make sure I take the right steps as opposed to taking the wrong steps.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, plan.
So, you know, yeah, packing my day is definitely something that works for me. You know, spending time with the kids and doing stuff like that with them is definitely something that works for me. Well, the next thing that, you know, getting off of worry and that anxiety, but I mean, still staying on anxiety. The next thing is that I want to talk about was failure, and taking your failure and turning it into, you know, success. So that's what I kind of also wanted to talk about, you know, by coming on here and letting y'all know about my failure, about the things that I did wrong. You know, I really want to turn it into success, and having a conversation here for me is a step towards that for me personally. Because, you know, like I said, having this conversation with my fellas, and we talk about mental health on here, and this is an example of having a conversation with people that you trust, who are going to give you the right advice, not the wrong advice. You know, and coming on here and being transparent is something that, you know, is a step towards me going towards the right step, saying, okay, I made a mistake this weekend. And like I said, to me, it was a huge mistake. To a lot of people, it wasn't. They was glad that I made it through and didn't go a lot further than I've gone in the past. But for me, you know, I just want to definitely turn it into success, and say that, you know, and like I said, I do think I am going to have another counseling session. I think I'll get a nice, you know, counseling. I still think you should do it every once in a while. It's kind of like checking the oil on a car. You know what I'm saying? You got, every once in a while, you got to go in there and just have a good conversation about how you feel and keep your mental health straight, you know, because I also feel like if I didn't have so many other things that were preemptive to the anxiety of her leaving, you know what I'm saying, I probably would have handled it a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But I had a lot of other things on my mind that was kind of, I guess, piling on to it, that made me want to resort to going back to the old method. You know what I'm saying? The old method. So, um, so I just wanted to talk about, I don't know, maybe a time or something that maybe you guys have taken a failure and turned it into success. What are the steps towards that? I mean, I always know the first thing is being able to acknowledge it and being able to understand that you've made a mistake. And a lot of people believe if you learned a lesson from that mistake, then it's not a mistake. You know what I'm saying? So, I definitely want to take this and learn a lesson and and turn it into a success where I can tell, okay, here's the day where things really begin to change and be different. So, that's why I hope I'm going with it. So, y'all fellas got anything that you want to talk about a time that you turned a failure into a success?
I gotta think
Or
about
maybe
it.
you got a success you want to bring up?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Kenneth Clark, I know
mean,
you got some failures that have been success. Throw them in there. We'll talk about them, but you ain't got nothing. Don't worry about it. I'll just talk about me.
Yeah, I've had few that failures that turn into successes, man, or like great learning lessons that push me in a certain direction. You know what I mean? It's just, and again, it's about how you respond to those failures. So I've had some failures as far as like in my career. You know what I mean? Working for a job or a corporation for many years, making good money, then subsequently losing that job. I kind of have to start over, but that kind of caused me to reinvent myself, to learn new things, start my own business, have different relationships, and gave me the ability to spend time with my kids as they was growing up. Coming through elementary and middle school years, was able to take them to school every day and pick them up from school and build relationships that I don't think we would have if I was kind of working at the type of job I was working. I was working a lot of hours, 12-hour days, working on the weekend, chasing that overtime, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of put me on a different path. So I could have allowed that situation to destroy me, because it was because I was counting on that, different things. So but I used it to learn from it, and then did what I needed to do to get myself and my family back where we was trying to be. And then I think we always kind of all honestly learning, man. Life, we wish it was a straight line, but it's goes and ebbs and flows, it's roller coasters, man. It's gonna be peaks and valleys through it. And I think sometimes we're always gonna have those moments, and it may be in different pieces of our life that we're learning the lesson in. At a certain point, we might have been learning the lesson in your business side of your life. You might then, in a certain time of your life, you're learning the lesson how to deal with family and friends. Then there's lessons when you learn about health. So there's always going to be some type of lessons or we can call them failures, but I'm saying lessons. I'm changing the word for failure to the lessons and different things that you're going through. And usually it is to maybe remind you of something that you may need to correct in your life. You know what I'm saying? So again, as long as you're being aware of it, man, we always can use these failures or lessons to, honestly, to catapult us to where we need to be. Sometimes it wake you up. They say the setback is the setup for the comeback. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, and a lot of that is mindset. Because if you let your mind and your imagination run with you, it could get the best of you. So, it's good to have good friends, family around you that you can bounce stuff off. And yeah, man, always turn that failure or lesson into something that make you better. But again, that sometimes that take discipline. Like, I'm speaking from experience. I'm like, I still deal with it. Sometimes talking it, you could talk it better than what you could do. You might give somebody advice that you might not be doing yourself. So since I'm sitting here saying all this too, you don't mean it like I'm like I'm the perfect example of it, but I do see it. You know what I mean? I do see it.
Yeah, man. I'm with you, Matt, on that. I mean, just in you talking, I think about just one of the anxiety that we talked about with providing for my family. You know how many times I failed at that budget that I always tell y'all about? Like literally that's what was creating the anxiety for not providing for a family. Like for years, me and my wife failed at budgets. I'm talking about fail. You know what I mean? And it would literally create the anxiety to the level of panic for me in providing for my family. You know what I mean? Being out on the street, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like Matt said, like it does take a fair amount of discipline, you know what I mean, to make the change. You know what I mean? And that's what it took for me. And
where the rubber meet the road, man. That's where the rubber meet
really
the road is that
you
discipline, man. The doing, because we have the best ideas and want to do, not to cut you off, but that's what you said. It's the it's the discipline, and we gotta I'm talking to myself.
It's funny. I got a really good friend of mine. I won't mention his name, but he struggles with a lot of things, but he's successful in a lot of things. You know why? Because his self-discipline. He is the most self-disciplined man that I know. If he has a target and it requires discipline to get there, he's going to hit the target every single time. And he doesn't. And we were talking about just discipline, self-discipline. He didn't even know how strong he was in that. You know what I mean? Whereas the average guy couldn't even come nowhere near to accomplishing the things that he can accomplish strictly through discipline. I mean, it's crazy what discipline does for you.
Right. Absolutely. All right, fellas. Well, we're gonna get ready to get into some reels and then do these terrible picks. But before we do that, it's kind of a terrible segue. But I'm gonna go. I meant to mention this earlier because we had a watch party last Tuesday that just passed for Teo, who is Matty Ice Cold Crypto's son, who has his own animated short that he's created. That's based loosely on life events and things like that. So, it is. I was pleasantly surprised, and so was the people who watched our premiere last Tuesday. We're going to do it again this Tuesday at 7:30, where we're going to watch episode 2 of The Knox, which is like I said, and there's three episodes coming out this season. There's going to be more episodes to come, and let me tell you something. I was thoroughly impressed by this animation series. If you have time, please look at it. If you have time, join us tomorrow at 7:30. We're going to go through the first episode and then watch the premiere of the second episode at 8 o'clock. The great thing is we do have the creator. He joins us and he talks about what it's about and how he came up with these voices, these people, and things like that. I'm assuming that tomorrow's episode we'll have a cameo from one of our hosts on the show. I'm sure he's coming into it soon. But I was really surprised and impressed by this. And I'll be honest with you, we're gonna have to help him make a new trailer because I feel like the trailer doesn't do it justice. Because it is, but we're gonna watch the trailer. The Knox is art by Guapo. You can definitely check him out on YouTube. Please follow his page and like it if you're watching on here. And then it drops tomorrow at 8 o'clock. You can join the watch party at 7:30. But here we go with the trailer.
Yo, what's good, Jay?
What's up, Mello?
Man, our party was crazy last night.
Nah, for real. I'm just waking up.
You're late. That's the 10th time you've been tardy this month.
Shit, he told me he be having that. Having what? That Zah nigga. Hey, Fantasia.
Hey, you all?
Shit crazy out here. That's why I got me some protection. Is it loaded? Hell yeah, it's loaded. What's the point of carrying an empty gun?
You heard about his little business? I just want him to be safe and smart about it, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's meet up tomorrow after school so we can talk about how we're gonna handle it. I just wanted to come by and check on you. I most def appreciate that, bro. Not for real. That's love. So y'all ready for tonight? Yeah, I'm ready. Same plan, right? I think we should just confront him. This nigga scared. Nah.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Who, me? You think he can take my shit and get away with it? Fuck no. Chill, nigga. I don't make promises. Hey, there you go right there. I know you heard me, nigga.
So it is the Knox. We'll be watching it tomorrow. The second episode premieres tomorrow at 8 o'clock. You can definitely check it out. You can join us tomorrow at 7:30. We're going to rewatch the first episode and then watch the second episode and also talk. I got some special guests joining us who have become fans already. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Watch the first episode and then get back to me. Let me know how you feel. Definitely join us tomorrow. Kenneth Clark, definitely take a look at it for us. And if you want to join us tomorrow, I'll send you the link also. But yeah, that's the Knox. Make sure you check it out. Hey, we talk about supporting young black men doing great things. And I look at it this way. You got a young black man out here creating his own content, his own art, doing his own thing that is different than nobody else. You know, nobody else out here is doing that. You know what I'm saying? We as a people need to make sure we are definitely supporting and sharing. So, you know, I've been talking about it all week. Everybody I got to see, everybody I've seen it think it's dope. Me and my wife have been walking around the whole week talking about what flavor you got, and then the other one says your mama. So, you know, it was one of the funniest thing that one of the funny points that happened on the show. You got to watch it to understand it. But we still walking around saying that to each other. So, you know, and because and when my boys saw it, they said the same thing. That they was like, yo, I feel like we had the majority of those conversations. You know what I'm saying? We actually had these conversations that was on here, you know, that day. You know, so I was like, yeah man.
We looking forward to
feels like
episode
that.
2. We looking forward to episode number 2, though. If y'all like episode 1, I think y'all gonna definitely enjoy
Good
second
stuff.
episode.
I mean, I know at least the character in the show got Matty Ice gear. I know that because I saw the Matty Ice gear. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can holler at Guapo, you know what I'm saying? See if I can get me some Matty Ice gear.
Get some, got some guap
You know
shakes.
He got his own brand. He got his guap
All right,
brand.
well, I'm going to his brand.
He got
You
his
know
own
what I'm
brand.
We got a little bit of everything.
You know, gotta represent.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna watch a few reels. Of course, you know I got a couple reels about the topics that we talked about today, so we're gonna go ahead and watch them, see what you think about them, and go from there.
But it takes away today's peace. Really, we worry about things that haven't even really happened, and it takes away the peace of the present moment. You need to talk about this worry. You need to figure out what it is that's holding you back, because you have a deep-rooted belief that is taking away your peace that you deserve. I know that you might not be able to just stop worrying, but you can retrain your brain and you can heal your nervous system and regulate yourself to where every day isn't full of worry. And I'm telling you this because I was there and I know how it feels and it sucks. And I want you to know that you can be healed from it. Worrying doesn't take away tomorrow's troubles, but it takes away today's peace. Really, we worry about.
There you go.
Yep, there you go. Right there.
Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles, but takes away today's peace. So,
yeah.
What do y'all think? Go ahead. I'll let y'all go.
That you deserve.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you can't worry about tomorrow because today presents enough troubles, right? So, I mean, your piece. If you're worried about the future, you might not even be there. Like, let's just call a reality a reality. Nobody knows when they're gonna go. Nobody knows when God's gonna call them. You can't worry about what's gonna happen next week. Not until you get to the day of that week, right? That doesn't mean be unprepared, right? But don't allow it to take away your peace.
Yeah.
I'm in complete agreement with what he said.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, because a lot of times, like again, we worrying about we even thinking about when we worry or feeling anxiety, we usually thinking about the past or thinking about the future. Then you're not even in the present moment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so like you say, still plan and have plans, but that worry is coming about worrying about something that you want to happen, that you thinking about happening, but just go ahead and plan for whatever's going on. You know what I mean? But don't worry about it. Like, man, worry is just, you know what I mean? I learned when I stay more in the present moment, I worry less. When I find myself, I just catch myself, my mind just kind of drifting, and I'm just thinking about something that may be weighing heavy on my mind or something that's important. So then that's when you get into that this may happen, that may happen type thing. And sometimes you can even talk yourself out of good ideas or something that you may wanted to do or do something just because you overthinking it. You know what I mean? So sometimes I still struggle with it, just putting my plan in place or you know what I mean, and running the play and just kind of do the daily tasks you know you need to do to fulfill what you're trying to do. And so you're more in the present moment than, you know what I mean, keep thinking about worrying about something. You know what I mean? If you're thinking about it in the future, you want to feel good about it. Think about, you know what I mean, like, dang, if I stay disciplined, this is what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you just got to kind of sometimes almost play with your own mind. So, like, your mind can trick your own self. So sometimes you got to know how to, you know what I mean, deal with your own self sometime and be like, nah, I can't let myself go down this joint, and try to stay in that present moment, man. And that helps me, is trying to stay present.
Yeah, I'm trying to like the biggest thing I take out is you gotta retrain your thoughts. You gotta retrain your thought process and how you deal with that worry or that anxiety. The same thing, you know, what I've been talking about here is, you know, retraining my thoughts to knowing how to cope with it in other ways besides alcohol. You know what I'm saying? And realize that the things, like I told y'all, the things I'm worried about are so crazy that it doesn't even make sense to say. And sometimes they even say them out loud. You know, it's just, you know, you're worried about the most random or the most dumb thing that could possibly happen. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's retraining your mind, retraining your thoughts. All right, so I got one more.
No, that makes sense.
Before we get to Coach's favorite part of the day, I'm assuming today.
Nah, I thought this conversation is really good. But that's not going to exempt y'all from anything in the next segment. But, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought we was getting away.
I spent my entire journey assuming the opposite of success is failure. You know, going back to implicit, explicit messaging, what do they teach us in kindergarten? The opposite of up is down, the opposite of success is failure. But it wasn't until I was sitting there with Quincy Jones that I could finally see that success and failure are not only not opposites, they're different sides of the same coin. Because they're both a result of the same thing. They're both a result of trying. So the opposite of success isn't failure. The opposite of success is not trying. Sitting there and having this epiphany that I'd spent my entire journey.
So the opposite of success is not failure. The opposite of success is not trying. What do you think about that, Coach?
I mean, yeah, it's systematically we're told to, you know what I'm saying, that if you don't win, you fail, right? You know what I mean? If you don't succeed, you fail. Try again. Yeah, you're not. Well, that's the famous words of Ricky Bobby, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, until his daddy told him what? Well, you could be second, you could be
Yeah,
third, you could be fourth,
exactly.
right? Like, you know what I mean? And I think he's correct, and you know what I'm saying, that there's lessons to be learned whether you're successful or you fail, right? You know what I mean? And as long as you try, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get a lesson either way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's gonna be a result either way, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So unless the only way you don't get a result is if you don't try.
Yeah.
And that's I believe totally true. So I think oftentimes, like Matt you were just alluding to, you talk so much, you talk yourself out of so many things, and instead of just going out there and trying it.
Yeah, exactly. Try. You got to step up to the plate. You got to swing. Like that's like the trying is the thing. Sometimes people do nothing. They think they doing something, but then they
do nothing.
Yeah, they run in their place because of, you know what I mean, the thought process. Because I've run into that, because sometimes people get scared of failure. They get scared of trying. So like we in school, going back there, I ain't gonna be long-winded with it, but like school, how sometimes, you know what I mean, the way school was taught, you know what I mean, you get an A, B, you know, everybody learned differently, but it was like failure. Nah, you need to go to this class. Well, you know what I mean? That don't mean the person wasn't smart. They just kind of learned different. So they got scared to try. You know what I mean? Somebody get their knuckle smacked enough time, get in trouble. Next thing you know, they don't want to try. So they're not even giving the effort anymore. So I think sometimes we get caught up in that, man, not wanting to give an effort because people feel like they can't fail if they don't try. You know what I'm saying? So I like the way he explained it, because it kind of is like it's the way we perceive the words, the way we perceive failure. You know what I mean? So he's saying, now if you're failing if you're not trying. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't never succeed unless you try. You can't hit a home run unless you keep stepping up to the plate. You know what I mean? Like a little corny joint say with Babe Ruth, you know what I mean? Like he had the most home runs, but he had the most strikeouts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he couldn't have had the most home runs if he ain't had a strikeout. So how many times he failed? You know what I mean? So it's you know, man, it's about how you kind of perceive it. Again, I think like that's why mental health and mindset is so important. So I think on a daily basis, everybody needs to, you know, read something or do something because to help your mindset to be on more of a positive state. And I think it's a good idea to do that first thing in the morning so your day starts out with a positive mindset. Because I think we were talking about with Kendra a week ago, or we were talking with somebody, but also what you're ingesting mentally also affects, just like your food. You are what you eat, but you are what you consuming on a daily basis. So if you're not consuming nothing that's, you know, building you up, you know what I mean, some type of self-motivation, some type of, you know what I mean, mental health, or like, you know what I mean, those type of videos every day, self-care type videos, I think just ain't gotta be long, but they're like 5-10 minute video in the morning while you're getting dressed or brushing your teeth or doing something. I think that will help you out to kind of make sure your mindset is straight, and mindset goes into, man, everything that we do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I like it that, you know, failure is a process of success. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's ever done everything perfect. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be failure. It is part of the process. The only way that you can truly fail is by not trying at all. You know what I'm saying? And you know, to me, it's just taking failure in understanding that it's part of the process. It's like I think somebody else said, you know, they talk about Michael Jordan as being the greatest of all time, whoever, you know, but Michael Jordan, the only stat he remembers is the 9,000 misses. You know what I'm saying? That's what he talks about. He was like, I missed 9,000 times. It was 26 times that the game was on the line that I didn't win it. You know what I'm saying? And part of that, and even though he had 9,000 misses, a lot of people still consider him the greatest. And
that's what drove him to greatness.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no person out there who has not had, misses. There's no sport, there's no work, there's nothing that your job eventually, sometimes something doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? You planned it, you went out, you executed it to the best of your capability, and it still just didn't work. But then you take that information, you learn from it, and next time you tweak it a little bit and you execute a little better. So, it's a great thing to remember that failure isn't always, failure isn't the opposite of success. You know what I'm saying? Failure could be you need to fail in order to get that great goal that you're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the end of that. All right, so now we're gonna get into
failure.
Hey.
That's what
Nah. Like I just said, it wasn't failure, sir. They tried. They just wasn't successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We learned.
That's putting it nicely.
We learned from it.
Shout out to Kendra. When Kendra come back on the show?
Kendra was already here today. Trust me. She said. Matter of fact, you go on my page, you'll see a big old picture of her in her cowboy outfit. You know what I'm saying? On my page, she already put it up there. Make sure everybody know.
Because she wasn't rocking it at first. Now I guess
she rocking it now though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was in Dallas colors.
That's why I had to make sure I still kept my colors on today. You know what I mean? Still, it's our brand, but it's the home team colors though, man. I had to keep the colors
Mine
on.
is packed up in the
Yeah,
tote,
I said when I seen you throw yours in, I was like, nah. I couldn't even
I waited.
The coach.
So his was funny. When it was 20-7, I think it was, I was going to send y'all that text at 20-7, and something said, nah, don't send it too early. This joint about to get wild. And that joint got super wild, dog.
Man, that thing was like, I don't know. That game, I don't want to watch it again, but I just need to watch the last 9 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That joint went from about to cover the under to smashing the over.
Yes, it did. Yeah. Crushing Vegas.
Yeah. Hey, part of me, but man, shoot, I was nervous though when we was a 10.5 point favorite.
Yeah,
I was like,
y'all
I was
both
a little
were
nervous
last week.
I was like, that's live points, man.
Yeah, I knew we weren't gonna win by no 10.5. I didn't think that.
Yeah, I was like, but hey, a lot of people got crushed. I was like, and Jay-Z was in the building the other day. I was like,
Yep.
I said, Jay-Z ain't fly all the way to DC to see his team lose.
Yeah,
he a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Here you go. I'm gonna give Coach. He talked about it. I'm gonna go ahead and let him get a little moment real quick. And here's Kendra right here on Facebook. This is what she sent me earlier today. You know what I'm saying? To give it shout out to Kendra. And then I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and we can go ahead and
go ahead and play the video.
Here we go again. Dog, it's a different day. Here we go again.
Papa was helping me put the stuff away. He was like, "You got it, I got you."
Here we go again. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Here we go again. Fuck me, niggas. Yo, niggas I fuck with wanna get them dead.
That's so hilarious, though, man.
That was hilarious.
That's the Santana Moss Pro Bowl
what
jersey.
you gonna be? I wash my hands. No, I can't forgive. I just can't forget. You're on your own, little man. Don't ask me for shit.
Y'all get back in there.
If I see you again, get it. Understood? The heck before I came to my
There you go.
This one say, ah, they told me
Hey,
to kill
this
him.
Joe,
Say,
this Joe supposed to
I'm a
went
good
viral
nigga,
right
but
here.
always
This
get
Joe
fake.
funny.
But I-
There you go. Don't open till next winning season. There you go.
Oh,
James
man,
sitting
that's
there put away,
hilarious.
man.
Hey,
You know.
look, man. Hey, they still 7-5. They can still make the playoffs if they go out and ball. You lose this week though, y'all should beat the Titans. But nah, man, I ain't.
Hey,
Man,
we
we ain't
could
got a
beat
bye
y'all.
week. I thought we
Titans.
had a bye week, don't we?
Nah, after the Titans game.
After the Titans.
Ah, damn,
Hey,
we can't get a
Slim.
bye week.
All I'm gonna say is the Titans looked better than they were supposed to last week. They
Yes,
end
they
up
did.
winning. And hey, we ain't gonna have no running back. Eckler
Yeah.
got
Eckler
knocked out, and B-Rob hurt.
Well, I think
Yep,
B-Rob
and they
will be
released
back.
the other dude last
Nah,
week.
B-Rob, I don't think he I hope he played, but he didn't play. He didn't play the second half. He came back at first, but he ain't never come back out in the second half.
Yeah.
Well, they said they did X-rays and stuff, and it was nothing.
It's still a
nothing.
it's an ankle sprain. He can probably, but he ain't gonna be 100%.
I mean, all right, so let's
I didn't
start.
even see that. I didn't even see the play. They was on the radio
the first
saying
play
like the
of the
Bama
game.
broke his leg.
The first
They was like,
play,
he broke-
This is the first play of the game.
Killed 3 of my parlays. That
Yeah.
definitely had him for any time
did.
touchdown.
Yeah.
But
That
go
First
ahead.
play of the game. I was
Y'all know the
pissed.
Ravens done started, so our viewership dropped. So let's get this.
Yeah, I got you. Tennessee at Washington.
Are you gonna start out with that?
Why?
Why not?
Man.
Well,
I mean, I know who y'all gonna pick. Or are you?
All right, then let's
I
go to
think
the
the
next
Titans
thing.
gonna win.
Nah,
I'm
you
going on
already
record.
know I hit the Commanders. You already know I
Yeah,
hit
we
the
going
Commanders.
Commanders.
I done already hit it.
We
It don't
supposed
matter
to
what
win.
you say, dog.
It's not gonna be easy, but we gonna get it. We got. Are they here? We gotta go there.
It's here.
It's here,
Okay, bet,
and we
bet.
up
Thank
6 points.
Oh yeah.
You
All
say
right,
what?
so
Point favorite.
Steelers at the Bengals. I think the Steelers gonna win.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a good game. That's
remember-
another divisional, Joan, ain't it?
Everything divisional this week.
Yeah, but they playing at Cincy.
Yeah, but still though, since he need that game to even try to stay.
Since he what 4-7?
Yeah, they gotta run it.
Yeah, they gotta run the table. I think Steelers gonna put them out this week.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
All right, well, I guess we're going with the Steelers.
All right,
vote for Cincy.
next one is Cardinals at Vikings. That's
Hold on, fan.
the Seahawks are leading that. Seahawks are leading their division. The Cardinals are
need
what?
to win.
Tied?
They need to win to try to compete with the Commanders for the final wild card spot.
Yep.
But I
think the Vikings gonna win.
Yeah, I like the Vikings because they at the Vikings. Vikings still running. They trying to
They
get
what,
home
8-2?
field. They right there with the Lions. They got the
Yeah,
best
Philly.
record. Yeah.
So who you going with? Vikings?
Hold on, we put
I like Vikings.
Pittsburgh, Vikings. Yeah, I got Vikings too. Vikings,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, and the Commanders so
And
far.
the Titans. Oh, okay. All right.
Do we-
49ers at the
nah.
Bills.
49ers at the Bills. Shit,
Bills
that
gonna win
that's
that.
Sunday night game.
I think so.
Purdy
Steelers
hurt,
beat-
ain't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Purdy hurt. Yeah. We're going Bills.
Yeah, that's
Give me
that's
the
why
Bills.
49ers got whooped by my loving him last week.
Me the Bills.
And I mean, I don't know if y'all want to do this one because they playing right now, but it's the best game of next week. The Eagles are at Baltimore. If you ain't gonna bet tonight, we could do it.
Oh
But
damn,
the Eagles come to Baltimore.
With that gotta be the Sunday night game then.
Nah, it's not flex yet. It's one
Oh damn.
Nah, it's full.
full.
They took it to full.
425. The Sunday night is San Fran versus the Bills.
That's why I figured that was all right. Oh shit! I'm going Ravens.
Y'all want to do the Eagles?
I'm going
If
Ravens.
not, I'll give you an easy one.
I'm going Ravens. Nah, that is an easy one. I'm going Ravens.
Oh no, Eagles gonna dog them.
Nah.
Watch.
They coming to Baltimore too?
Saquon gonna run all over.
Nah.
You see Saquon last night?
Yeah, he having a Hall of Fame year. Like he about to do 2,000 yards easy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure it out without. I want the. I just want the Eagles to have a loss. So
yeah,
I'm going Baltimore.
I'm saying you can't. You betting off.
I really think Baltimore going to win. I mean, the Eagles probably going to win, but I want them to have a loss. So I'd rather bet Baltimore.
I want y'all to understand this: that my topic today, if we'd have done segments, was going to be investing off of your moral or invested off of business. And see, y'all be invested in this FanDuel off of morals, bro. Like y'all, that joint be like you be invested with your heart.
Yeah, that's me off emotions. Yeah, that's like Nah, that's why I don't usually bet with the skins in my parlays, especially earlier in the season. It was because they was looking good, but now, like I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I need to see something because right now their offense they not looking like it should be looking like it was looking. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if it's that Cliff Kingsbury jump. Like it's too vanilla. He need to put a little more some motion in there, move Terry around a little bit, like or because I don't think it's Jaden. I think the play calling got stale.
Right.
Yeah, but I say that to say that's why I'm telling Rodney now. If you think I think the Ravens gonna win. He want the Eagles to lose, so that's why he's betting against them. But he think the Eagles gonna win though.
That's what he think.
So you could do both, Rodney. Go ahead and put the Eagles in that joint, and if you think they're gonna win, but you can.
Nah, I'm good. I don't believe in betting against my own bets.
Shoot, that
was good. Go ahead and ride with it. That's another emotional thing. I don't have emotion. If you haven't noticed by now, I got a lot of emotional ties to $20.
Yeah, I see.
I ain't worried about it. If it wins, it wins. If it don't, it don't. You know, I'm still gonna blame y'all no matter what.
To say, we don't even know who favored in that joint yet because they Ravens playing.
Nah, they let me. That was a crazy thing. So I don't understand it because they let me do the bet.
Did the game start yet?
Yeah, the game started. They losing by 7.
Who? Baltimore?
Yeah.
What was the spread though? How they give you a spread in the game? Ain't even like
the spread is.
I guess they going off of who playing because they don't know who gonna get hurt this game.
The spread is 3.5, 2.5.
Ravens.
Ravens, yeah. 2.5 for the Ravens to win. -2.5 for the Ravens. I don't understand, but it let me bet it. I guess it's saying it's such a terrible bet. Go ahead. This joint they gave up now. It'd be like I be trying. Go ahead. Go ahead and make that bet. So it's all good, man. I appreciate it. Hey, fellas, we about to end this. Go ahead and enjoy this Ravens game. I already know Kenneth Clark, he been gone since that Ravens game started. He loves sending me Ravens stuff too. But you know. But anyway, I appreciate everybody who joined us in the comments. Thank y'all for coming out. Fellas, I appreciate y'all having a conversation with me. A shout out to Brenda Brown and the Comedy Showdown. And matter of fact, December 6th, she'll be doing that live in Vegas. So, if you in Vegas, get your tickets. But shout out to her too. And shout out to everybody who was in the comments. Shout out to Guapo, Art by Guapo and the Knox. Make sure y'all check us out tomorrow at 7:30 as we go into episode 2. We're going to re-watch episode 1. This time I want to comment during the episode of episode 1 so we can have some fun and talk about our favorite parts during the first episode. Yeah, and then we got some special guests joining us also. So I'm excited to have that, and we'll see you. Matter of fact, we'll just see you tomorrow. It's Dad Mentality.